wind drifted slowly between the village's stone walls, whispering a forgotten name with each pass. The silence of the night was so thick that one could mistake their own heartbeat for footsteps. The grasses along the roadside were dry and lifeless, the moonlight painting them silver. My footsteps echoed on the rotting planks. "It's not even on the maps," the old guide had told me before we reached the village. The village's name is not spoken. If it is spoken, someone will hear. I hadn't believed him. But now, in this silence, the echo of those words reverberated in my mind. Someone might hear ... The village seemed like a place forgotten by time. Houses with collapsed roofs, moss-covered stone walls, dark windows with locked doors that still gave the feeling that someone lived inside. In the middle of the village stood 3 ancient stone wells. A raven sat on the edge of the first one. It looked at me. Then silence fell again. Around the wells, as if children had once run and played there were small circles made of stones, pieces of wood, and an old, rotten toy horse. Looking at them, I felt a strange ache inside. Suddenly, a voice passed behind me, almost too faint to hear. "Mom, the water is so dark." I froze. I turned my head, but there was no one there. Only a cold, damp mist rising from the mouth of the well. In the moonlight, it looked like a thin veil of fog. I pulled myself together and turned on my voice recorder. Nameless Village, October 14th, first night of observation. My words were cut off. A voice rose from the bottom of the well. A whisper, very faint, but the words were clear. "Find us. Let's go back." The device in my hand began to vibrate. It was as if someone was breathing into the microphone. At that moment, an involuntary gasp escaped my throat. Without a moment's hesitation, I turned off the recording device. As the night progressed, the air grew heavier. From somewhere came the sound of metal scraping against stone. A wind blew, but contrary to its direction, I heard 3 wells sighing at the same time. Yes, it was sighing. It was as if the wells were alive. Alara, the only living person in the village, had shown me the house. But she hadn't spoken. She was mute. She had only written a few words on a page in a notebook. "Don't go out at night. The whispers know your name." I closed the notebook. At that moment, I noticed the fear in Alara's eyes, as if she had seen something no one who could see should ever see. When the clock struck midnight, I jumped at the first scream from outside. It was a child's voice, not loud, but close, very close. I opened the door slightly. The moonlight was shrouded in a gray mist. From the wells, faint murmurs could be heard. I took careful steps. With each step, the ground softened, as if breathing beneath me. When I reached the wells, the whispers stopped. Just then, I felt someone's breath on the back of my neck. A child's voice whispered in my ear, "Play with us." I froze. I slowly turned around. No one was there, but there were small, wet footprints on the ground. I knew I had to go back home, but I couldn't, because a voice rose from the 3rd well. This time it didn't belong to a child. A deep, muffled laugh from the throat, as if it were echoing from beneath the stones. I took them, and now I'll take you too. Moonlight hit the stone surface of the wells. Small, wet handprints appeared, glowing on it. 3 wells, 3 pairs of hands, and they were slowly climbing up. I wanted to run, but my feet wouldn't leave the ground. Something was holding me back. From below, the cold air rising from the dark well wrapped itself around my legs. The whispers grew louder. Hundreds of children's voices suddenly began to speak. He didn't leave us. He was always here. Look at us, not the water. I bent down. I looked into the well, and there I saw faces appearing on the water's surface. Children's faces. Their eyes were pure white. Their lips were blue. But among them was one whose face was not human. Its features resembled a mask, its edges decayed. Its eyes were pitch black. It was watching me. Suddenly, the water's surface rose. Handprints reached down to me from above. Small, bony fingers grabbed my wrists. They began to pull. I screamed, but no sound came out. The village's silence swallowed every cry. Just then, Ilara appeared. She held a lantern in her hand. The flame flickered in the wind, but did not go out. She walked toward the wells. She raised the lantern high and murmured something. Her voice was silent, but her lips moved. The steam rising from the wells instantly receded. The whispers ceased. Ilara looked at me. Her face was filled with tears. Then she opened the notebook in her hand and wrote something new. They're trying to come back. We must drown them in sound, not water. Without understanding what he meant, Ilara threw the lantern into the 3rd well. As the flame fell, the well lit up for a moment. That dark face looked up at me from beneath the water and smiled. Then the lantern went out. The whispers coming from the wells were replaced by a child's shrill scream, and then everything fell silent. When morning came, the village was silent. There wasn't even the sound of birds. Ilara had vanished. By the wells, I found her old notebook lying on the ground. On the last page, written in black ink, was a single sentence. He's still here. Every voice that calls out gives him another body. I closed the page. I left the village. But ever since that night, every time it rains, I hear a whisper behind my window. Come play with us, ...